Let us go to Baltimore, where Lamar Jackson is doing damage. Rob, it's early, obviously.
He's the MVP so far.
I mean, you got him.
He's the MVP.
You got Jalen Hurts. It's a couple of I would agree. I agree with you. I would go with Lamar. I mean, Hurts is in the running. I think Josh Allen would be in the running, but I would probably go with Lamar.
I'm talking about right now, yeah, because
I know, but I mean,
they should be
just like Buffalo's
lost.
Yeah,
but that
Allen's
loss
numbers are off the charts.
Yeah, that loss their defense was awful in that game that they gave up. You remember when he came out, Chris? He had like
he was
4
fantastic.
touchdowns in that game.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do anything wrong. I'm just
right. He had three passing and 1 running.
Yeah, he had 4 touchdowns in the loss, and the defense was awful. So that's why I'm saying, for my money, and you're right.
No, and I agree. I think he's MVP right now at this point. And there's several things. I got to make a confession, though, Rob.
What's that?
Lamar Jackson. Now, who knows? Maybe I'll regret this. I hope not. He's changed my thinking because, Rob, I've grown up my entire life believing that you couldn't be a running quarterback primarily. And I know he throws it. He's improved every year passing the ball.
Right.
But, he's still not like, even though he leads the league in touchdown passes right now with 10, and he leads the league in passer rating. But he's not throwing, for 300 yards a game like some of these guys, like a Mahomes, like an Allen, or
he's efficient. He doesn't have to.
Right. He doesn't throw as much as those guys. But
he only had like 18. What was his thing yesterday?
He was 18 for 29.
Chris, just 18 completions. Like,
yeah. Josh Allen threw 63 times,
which is just ridiculous. His
much.
Arm is going to fall off.
That's
Chris.
too much. The way they're running him and playing him,
right? He won't be good at the end of the year. I don't know what they're thinking.
They need
63 passes, Chris. I think
That's
Roger
crazy.
Staubach threw that in 4 games. Chris,
No,
in the old days.
3.
I bet you could go back and look and find 3 games in a row where Roger Staubach threw 63 times.
No doubt about it. But Rob, what I'm going to say is, I have grown up believing you couldn't be what I'll say primarily a running quarterback or run as much as Lamar without being a great passer and make it in the league for various reasons. One of which I didn't think you'd stay healthy. It's not just style and all that, but I didn't think you could stay healthy. And we saw Cam Newton, as big as he was, eventually those hits took a toll on him. But he was a different type of runner than Lamar. He was a runner that sought contact, right? Ran over guys. And that caught up with him. But Rob, Lamar Jackson now, this is his 5th year as a starter. And he's fine. And he knows how to slide, or not just slide, but shift his weight when he's going to take a hit to where he can avoid the brunt of the contact. And I don't know if a guy like this, I don't think he'll be running like this 6-7 years from now, maybe even shorter than that. So I don't know, maybe your career would be a little lower, but the way he's progressing as a passer, he'll be throwing the ball great by the time he can't run like this anymore. But he, to me, Rob, is the kind of the final evolution of these style of quarterbacks. And Rob, you know this. When you and I were growing up, you used to see a lot of black quarterbacks in college, right? That could run. Oklahoma always had a black quarterback leading the wishbone.
Right.
Nebraska had plenty of black. They had some white ones too.
We saw
Scott Frost and all that, but they had Turner Gill. They had a lot of great.
Charlie Ward won a Heisman Trophy as a running quarterback.
And he wasn't just a run.
Not just, but he could run.
He could run. And Tony Dungy, you know what he's told us, Rob, on this show. He thinks Charlie Ward could have been as good as Peyton Manning. Now, that might sound crazy to people, But Tony Dungy knows what he's talking about.
Right, because people can't imagine that. Right, exactly. But that's how good he was.
Remember Tony Rice from Notre Dame?
Yep.
Didn't get a shot. There were a lot of great black college quarterbacks that didn't even get drafted. And a lot of them were big-time runners. And like I said, I bought into it just because I just thought guys would get hurt too much in the NFL. But this dude is proven differently. And Rob, I look at Jalen Hurts, who doesn't run it. I mean, who does? No, I haven't seen no quarterbacks ever run it as well as Lamar, including Michael Vick. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's a difference maker that we haven't seen.
Yeah, we have not seen anything like this.
However, he really is.
A Jalen Hurts, Rob, is a big-time runner, and now he's throwing it for 300 yards a game. So I'm kind of believing that this is like you're always going to have the quarterbacks who throw it you primarily and are great at that. But this is a new breed. I think he's like the final evolution of that running quarterback. And I think eventually we may not see one as good as him, at least running the football. But Rob, I do think over time, over the next several years, you're going to start seeing more guys like Lamar Jackson. And I think Jalen Hurts, not as swift and all that as Lamar, but I think he's kind of along those lines already.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I still think that there's a prototypical, like these other guys that we're seeing, that they'll, like Justin Herbert
and guys
like that is still what they're looking for the most part. I don't think that it'll really bust out or break through until Lamar wins a championship or Jalen Hurts, or like when you get to that point, because there still are the skeptics that say that, yeah, that works, and during the regular season, we'll see you can't win a Super Bowl doing that or whatever, and things are different. So I think that we're not there yet. I think the real breakthrough is if Lamar wins a championship with Baltimore after winning a unanimous MVP and wins a championship, then it'll be real hard. We know the NFL, Chris, is a copycat league, but they want to make sure that they can win, and that's the part that I'm not convinced yet, because he could have a great year, and if Justin Herbert or Josh Allen wins the championship, right? Then they're gonna be like, well, that's the quarterback I want to have. Would you agree? Right?
Fair. That's fair. I do think. I mean, we had Randy Mueller on last week, former GM, former executive of the year in the NFL. He said that exact same thing. That until you see a guy like that win a Super Bowl, guys will be skeptical, and that's fair
because it's never happened. But he's different.
They got a great chance to win the Super Bowl. I mean, look, the AFC, and we're seeing it. I mean, you got Buffalo, you got Kansas City, you got Baltimore. I don't know if Miami's in that ilk yet, but maybe they're in there. The Chargers aren't looking like it. They should have been, but they don't look like it. But you got a few teams, Rob, that could win it. But Baltimore looks as good as anybody in the NFL. And I know what happened to them against Miami. But they got this, to me, Rob, I'll say this. I think this is their best shot of the 4.5 years that Lamar's been a starter. This is like the first year I know they're always good.
No, we know.
But I really feel like they really got a legitimate chance to win a Super Bowl.
When Lamar's healthy, Chris, they're a factor. We've seen that, right?
And even in the past, it's true he didn't get it done in the playoffs, but maybe that was more youth.
Right.
And inexperience than just he's limited. And here's the thing. And I'm not saying you're going to be running, the wishbone and running the ball as a quarterback 17, 18 times a game in the NFL. He has had to improve as a passer, right? But he's done that. He is working. He has put in the work, Rob. And this year he's completing almost 64% of his passes, which isn't awesome, but it's good. He's leading the league in touchdown passes with 10. Think about that. Not Patrick Mahomes, Not Josh Allen, not Tua, who threw 6 in one
Not
game.
Aaron Rodgers, not the two-time defending MVP, not Tom Brady. No, it's him.
Freaking Lamar Jackson.
And he is right now, Rob G, right in Vegas, the favorite. I mean, and I get it. With second favorite.
He's MVP. Who's first?
I'm sure Josh
Is it
Allen
still
still,
Josh
yeah,
Allen?
because that's what it
But
started
I think
out as.
right now it would be Lamar. Right now it would be
I
Lamar.
agree with you.
And Robbie leads the league in passer rating. Oh, by the way, and he's 4th in rushing.
Oh.
I mean, come on. 9 yards a carry. Like, the dude is ridiculous. This is something, Rob, you see in high school, you see in college, you see in Pop Warner. You haven't seen this in the NFL. He is almost darn near a one-man show, Rob.
Oh, no, he's that guy. And, you know, plenty of people have said it about how he's a game changer and he might not look like he's the greatest passer and his passes aren't as crisp as some of the other guys. Chris, they aren't. I watch him. But he gets it there.
Right.
He does.
He's good enough. He's a tremendous runner, and he's a good passer.
Right. I agree.
That's a heck of a combination.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's not the greatest passer.
Right.
There's other guys who throw the football way better. But, man, has he been doing his thing. And to think they could easily be 3-0 without those lapses in that game against Miami. Like, that game happens once every generation. You don't give up a game like that. That's how bad that was.
And, Rob, I've been saying this for over a year and a half. I still want to see him with a great receiver. And what did Stephon Diggs do for Josh Allen? What did DeAndre Hopkins do for Kyler Murray? You see Kyler right now without DeAndre Hopkins. What has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle done for Tua? Now, all of a sudden, Tua's looking like a Pro Bowl.
Right. I mean, it does make a difference when you have weapons. That's just
Yeah. And he has not had, his best weapon is a tight end. He has not had, Rashad Bateman's pretty good, but he has not had that great receiver. And look, Rob, they have tried. They tried with Kenny Golladay, Juju, T.Y. Hilton. Guys haven't wanted to go there. Hollywood Brown left. But maybe now, seeing this, Rob, guys, maybe he will get that guy. I'd love to see him get OBJ. If I were them,
that's in
I
play.
don't know if they got the money. I'd be trying to go out and get OBJ.
That's in play right there. You are 100% right.
So I'm a believer now. Finally, Rob, they should have paid him. Because if he stays healthy, and that's a if, but if he stays healthy, Rob, the price is going up.
Is this an Aaron Judge too, Chris?
The price is going up. This is right. It is. It is.
It's an Aaron Judge
Rob,
too.
If he stays healthy, whether they win the Super Bowl or not,
right?
They make the playoff. He does this all year. He's MVP, second in voting, whatever. He getting that. He gotta get a fully guaranteed deal.
I don't know how they wouldn't be able to give it to him.
Come on, $300 million fully guaranteed. I mean, this dude is doing it. It's early. He got to keep it up. But so far, so great.